Welcome everyone to the live chat as well as the live stream. As I was saying, and no one could hear, this is new to me. This entire live stream thing is not something I've played around with a lot, and I have been messing with it on the channel, and so far I think it's going pretty well. Oh, I've just got text blowing me up. I have no audio, so I think that's been fixed by now, though. All right, so as I was saying, if you are here in the live chat, I appreciate it. Most of you, hopefully, in the live chat are already subscribed and know that I do use drones on a weekly basis to film other things in my channel, as well as to make things that I share with everyone. I also do a bunch of other stuff, but today we're going to be focusing, like I said, on the, or I don't know if that was muted, but we're going to be focusing on the Mavic Air 2, and if that is a drone that we should be shelling out money for. Whether you're new to drones or you have a few already, do you really want to spend the money to get this one? A lot of stuff has come out in leaks over the last few days or last week or so, and I thought we could just sort of sum it up a little bit here tonight, and hopefully by tomorrow when they announce it, we will all know if we want to spend our money or not once we see the video or they have a live broadcast with us, someone talking about it. My guess is we're going to see a video and we won't actually see. I got to put these glasses back on, man. I got my font. I'm using a 16-inch laptop and I got everything shrunk so small so I can fit everything together in here when I edit and stuff. So the text is like minuscule, man. So RM Photos, thank you very much for the $3.99 super chat. That is awesome. I appreciate that. Doc Murdoch says he's going to set up a live stream now too. Would love to have you on when I do that. I'd love to have join you. Once I'm back working full time, I might not have the time to do as many of these live streams anymore, but I'm going to try to at least do one every other week on different subjects. For example, a good buddy of mine, a YouTuber named Jonathan Buckhouse, is going to be joining us in the future to do a live stream on how to succeed and make YouTube a full-time career with under 10,000 subscribers. So if you guys are interested in YouTube and growing your channel, I'm going to do some live stuff with different YouTubers and how they grew theirs and actually made it into a career. So make sure you're subscribed and you click the bell notification so you don't miss those kind of updates coming on. They won't all be drone related, but they all will in some way, form factor or something still be related to YouTube. All right, let me go through, let me finish saying, for those watching this on the replay, my name is Sean Oz. This is the World of Oz. And I do a lot of videos showcasing drones, action cameras, 360 cameras here in the Rocky Mountains, capturing my lifestyle and hopefully helping others learn how to use those camera tools to do the same for their own lives. So that's what we're about, and that's what this channel is about. And hopefully we're going to get some new people and meet some new people tonight. All right, let's check out the chat and start. Looks like we got 26 people in here already. That's not a bad start, guys. I appreciate that. And girls, if there's any ladies in here. Well, you guys are talking all over the place in here. I'm just talking to myself, and I still, well, most of it was missing my mic. I'm skimming through. I'm going to try to put your chats up on the screen over here on the side. We got Cooking Made Easy is here. I always recognize you because your thumbnail makes me hungry. You got a nice looking pepperoni pizza sitting there, and I'm always looking at that going, man, that sounds pretty good. We got John in the chat tonight. Hello again, John. John goes way back to the Blade Chroma days, and I do remember you from there. And it's cool to see that you're still making content and on YouTube actively. A lot of people will get on YouTube and they'll be on it for a little while, and that's it. Oh, that's an interesting comment, Ron. Sean's a girl, huh? Yep, my secret has been found out. Steve Carpenter is in the room. He is a moderator here. And if I'm going to continue doing this stuff, I'm probably going to have some new moderators join me, because not every moderator can make every show. And it's helpful to have someone else watching the chat and approving things and disapproving stuff. And I cannot always see that. Tonight should be a little easier for me to stay with the chat and see who's actually in there, because I am not having a guest tonight. It's just me and you. one on however many are in there at a time, and we're going to talk and we're going to discuss. I'm going to show some video clips, and we're going to talk about tomorrow, which is, for those not sure, well, maybe you're watching this in the replay. Maybe it is no longer tomorrow. Maybe you're still watching this a week from now when we did it, and you're wondering, well, I don't know if I should get the Mavic Air 1, the Mavic Mini, the Mavic Air 2, and hopefully we'll answer some questions tonight between me and a wonderful group of people we have in the chat so that you can decide how much money you want to send to DJI, if any at all. All right, let's see. Mike B is in the room tonight. Ray Kelly joins us. Agent K, all right. And he's saying Techno Drone is with us, which has been with a lot of you guys have been with us for a few of these nightly things. For those who don't know, I've been doing one a night at 9 p.m. all week, most of the week. And then tomorrow, let me tell you right now, we're going to have 2 guests with me tomorrow, at least, possibly 3 or 4, but 2 for sure. I've got Ed Rickert and Kelly Shores from Ready, Set, Drone, who are going to join me on the chat, and we're going to watch the event, talk a little bit about it first, about the Mavic Air 2 and what we hope from it. And then we're going to all watch the event. I should be able to open it in another web browser and share that screen without any issues, fingers crossed. And then we're going to discuss if we're all filling out the order form or not. So make sure, if you're into drones and you're still on the fence, tomorrow's the night you really want to make sure you join us, all right? Because that should be a cool thing. And Jake Sloan might join us. I'm talking to a couple other people, and we'll see how many we get. If I get too crowded, I think it'd be a little harder to have a regular conversation with everyone. But for sure, Ed and Kelly have secured their spots, so that's pretty dope. All right, Michael Wright, howdy from the great state of Texas. Awesome. Used to live there, as some of you know. Jake Sloan is in the chat with us. Hello, Jake. Can't wait to see what it's like. I think most of us are getting pretty anxious. One more day. Have not heard of its internal memory or just a memory card like SD card. So my thoughts on that, I don't think they're making any. Well, I don't know the Mini. Does anybody own the Mini? Does the Mini have any internal memory storage at all? DJI used to not do internal memory storage whatsoever. And then they started doing that. Which was the first one? Was it the Mavic Air that started that, or was it the Mavic Zoom? I can't remember. You guys correct me in the chat. Somebody's got to know in there which one was the first that had, I think it was 8 gigabytes of internal storage. I'm not sure if you've heard that they're definitely having internal storage, if it's 16, 32, or just 8 again. But I would assume that they're going to have some form of internal storage. Blue Sky 43 has been watching my channel for a while now and wanted to say what's up. Well, I appreciate that very much. Do you watch for the drone content, the snowboard content, or all of the above? Let me know. Steve is here. I said that already. Techno Drone, I haven't been able to attend each live stream, so you may have already talked about it, but not sure. I have not talked about it. You're talking about the internal memory. We just now talked about it. My assumption is that they'll have some form of internal memory, probably 8 gigabytes. At the most, I would think 16. But seeing that this is a cheaper drone compared to their Mavic Pro line, they might not even have any. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. All Things Skydio is back. Nice to see you here. RM Photos. Good photographer, does a lot of stuff with the Autel Evo. Holy crap, you guys are chatting away tonight. This is going to be hard to keep with everyone. So again, as I've said before, if you have something you want to have me talk about, just type it like a few times in a row so I see it. All right. Let's move forward here. Jake says, it seems like it was just last night. And we're not going to say anything about the Verona Crius, whatever, blah, 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 tonight. No talk of that kind of stuff tonight. Because I said it once yesterday, and I got a partially demonetized in a 3-hour-long video. It's crazy. We got Melbourne, Australia here. This is awesome. We got people from all over the place here tonight, and such a nice grouping, man. 36 of us already. We're going to jump into the Mavic stuff in a minute. I want to talk to you guys about a flight I just did with my Mavic Air as well, but my first original Mavic Air. which I have right here, actually. There we go. Here is the original Mavic Air. This is the white version, obviously. I originally had the all black version and had issues with it, and got it returned by DJI. We went through a lot of issues with that, and I chose the white as a replacement, and I'm glad I did, although here in the snow sometimes I'll be actually higher than the drone. I'll be on a mountain flying beneath me, and the white top makes it just a little bit hard to see when it's surrounded underneath it by snow. But it works all right. It's a pretty solid little drone, and it's small enough that it can actually fit in your pocket. Let me show you guys this. This is something I don't think the new one is going to be able to do because it is larger than this one. On paper, it seems to be a decent amount larger. It seems to be between this and the Mavic Zoom or Mavic 2 Pro. But I don't think you're going to be able to walk around and hike. Let me see. With it like in your pocket. I mean, that's my jeans pocket right there, man. No big deal. And the controller, same thing. So you could do that, put a battery here, battery there, walk around, go on a hike, and when you're ready to fly, just pull the thing out. Except the propeller is stuck on my pocket, pull it out, and you're good to go. That is what I think most people were bummed about, the form factor changing. Although the new form factor is more aggressive looking than the Mavic 2 Zoom or the Mavic 2 Pro, as well as in some ways it's even more aggressive looking than the Mavic Air. All right. But I do a lot of hikes with these things in my pocket so that I don't have to carry a backpack and things like that. Give me a minute to read over these comments. I might actually take you up on that offer, Steve, if you still want to jump in here and help me monitor the chat, because it is really popping tonight, man. And I am afraid I'm going to miss people's comments. RM says, is the Insta360 worth it? You could have me talk about Insta360 stuff or GoPro stuff for hours. We're going to try to stay focused more on the drones. I am going to talk a little bit about 360 stuff and drones a little bit later. But yeah, I think the 360 cameras are amazing, Ron. And if you want, hit me up later and I'll tell you which one I would recommend. All right. We got a nice compliment for Steve, one of the best moderators we could ask for. That's awesome. He's probably over there moderating his butt off here. I guess if I'm, you know what, I'll go ahead and share. Oops, wrong thing. I will share. I will give Steve an invite. So if he is not too busy, he can join in and help us moderate this chat while I'm sharing videos and talking to you guys. That would be pretty helpful. And if not, no big deal. I'm going to send it to you on Facebook, because that is the easiest way for me to do this right now. Everyone just bear with me. I ate too much food today. Man, I'm telling you, today was the first day that I woke up and was feeling just blah from all this crap that's been going on. This is the first day that I woke up, went back to sleep, woke up, went back to sleep, and just didn't accomplish crap today. I had 2 videos I wanted to edit. I had to finish my floor at my shop, all of it, just 86'd it all and just did nothing. Played video games and slept all day. I felt like a complete bum, and I guess I needed it. I guess I was just worn out. But I think that's okay for all of us to occasionally have a day where we just check out and do nothing. All right, let's get back on we're going to get caught up on the chat, and then I'm going to share. Actually, you know what? While we're getting caught up on the chat, let me share a video in the background. Boom, boom, boom. And this was filmed with the Mavic Air Original, a killer little drone. There we go. So how can I make that a little bigger? There we go. So this is down the road from my house, and it's so cool that I have such areas like literally 5 minutes away that I can fly. Let me start the video over because I wanted to actually show you guys something. If anyone was here last night, you might remember about Jake and I talking about how when you're up high, you're flying straight. You can't barely tell you're moving until you start strafing or something like that. And this is a great example. That beginning shot, you could barely tell the camera was moving until you start seeing it strafing. Yeah, we got a little sun glare. I wasn't using ND filters, so everything's in auto with this. So whatever. It was made to show an example of that. Steve was just in the chat, and now he's gone. I just saw him pop up, and now he's gone. Hopefully his signal works, and he can get back with us. All right, scrolling through while that plays in the background. My goodness. Very busy chat tonight. I love it. I love it. Steve is back. Hey, Steve.
Good evening.
My goodness. You got a bit of an echo. You might need to turn off your YouTube. Yeah, turn off your volume on the YouTube. I can hear the video playing in the background. You got a bit of an echo.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, turn off your volume on the YouTube. Just either just turn off that YouTube playing in the background. You got a bit of an echo.
Hold on 1 second.
I muted your mic for a second there. All right, let's try it. All right, I'm not hearing it now. You there? Steve, can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you, Steve. So, but you don't have an echo momentarily. All right. So while Steve figures that out, I just heard myself again.
There we go.
All right,
Sorry
there we go. No worries, no worries. So yeah, this is a flight right down the road. This is actually with the Mavic Air original. That's what I was sharing with everyone to let them know that if you have a Mavic Air, it is a capable drone. It doesn't mean just because they're making a Mavic Air 2 that you got to go out and shell out some money and buy a new drone. You can do a lot with the current one. I'm still going through and skimming the chat. I'm trying not to have dead air here, guys. That's the worst thing you can do is have dead air. All right, so I'm just skimming to the bottom. So if I missed anything, repeat it and I'll get to it. But that was a Mavic Air original clip. Let me see what else we got to do with that. We'll come back to that in a minute. Right here, I'm going to share this other picture. Give me a second, guys. This is the Mavic Air 2 right there. All right. So this is what we're talking about. This is what everyone is so excited to see and try and decide if it's worth spending their money. There have been so many leaks on this damn drone that I think I've seen more leaks on this one than any other drone release, or hell, even more than iPhone leaks. This thing, pretty much everything has been released about it that we know about, except for a couple of minor things like what new autonomous flight modes might it have.
Right.
That's the one thing that we've heard rumors on, but nobody's really confirmed it from that I know of yet. The price point that we're seeing for this looks like it's going to be $799 and possibly $999. There's two SKUs, which makes us think there's two models, and there's all kinds of speculation on which model has what. Which one's for you? You know, we're not going to really know till tomorrow. And what it really comes down to is how fat is your wallet and how thin, skinny do you want your wallet to be afterwards? That's what it comes down to. It's 100% about budget. Yeah, there's the newest rumor I've heard is that the more expensive one is going to actually have a higher frame rate. And it's the weirdest frame rate I've ever heard. The rumor is that it's going to be 4K 90. Which is weird. I have never owned a camera that has a 90. I've had, 24, 30, 60, then it bumps up to 120, 240. But I've never owned a 90. If you have, let me know. It doesn't seem to be a regular frame rate. It's not a very common frame rate. And if that was the case for the more expensive one, I'd actually be stoked. And why? Because I would jump down and get the one that wasn't 4K 90 because I don't shoot in 4K very rarely, and 4K 30 is fine for me. I don't slow my footage down very often, especially my drone footage. If I want slow drone footage, you know what I do? I fly slowly. It's that easy. Um, I know everybody likes to have options, so I think having that option, if you have the money, that's the way you should go. All right. Where are we at? You see anything I'm missing in there, Steve, that we should be talking about before I jump into anything?
The only thing was Jake was talking about he'd be really tempted if it shoots 4K 60, and he says I'll be tempted. And his biggest thing is flight time and original size.
Yeah, like I don't know if he was. Well, I think you were in the chat when I put it in my pocket, Steve, or not Steve, but Jake. And I have a feeling that this one's going to be just too big to slide in your pocket like that. Which you're probably, now that you're carrying water on your hikes, Jake, you probably have room for this in your bag. But there's a lot of small hikes I'll do where I just shove that in my pocket with the controller in my other pocket, and I'm good to go. I don't need to carry a bag, which makes it a lot easier to hike. But it is what it is. Let me pull up this. We got some new pictures that came out today, and let me share those.
Cookie Made Easy is saying in here that she wonders if you had any comments as to why you think the DJI changed their controller.
Whew, man. I almost wonder if it has anything to do with this new, what is it? The APAS, the DB. Steve, what's the name of the
ADSB?
ABS, yeah. I hate initials. I wish they'd just come up with a name for these things. I can't, like, when the movie Clueless came out many years ago and they were all like OMG and all that, I hated that stuff. So I hate acronyms. Anyways, I would wonder if maybe it has something to do with that. Let me pull the controller up since she's asking about the controller. Let's pull that up right now. And that's the front side. And these are some newer pictures that just leaked. And you can see it's very minimal. You've got the basically sports mode, regular standard mode, and I'm assuming tripod mode there. Your return to home button and a power button. The top right, it looks like a camera switch button, and I can't really make out the button on the left over there. So I'm not sure what that does. But check this out. There's a new leaked picture of the back, and it still has a sliding wheel. I'm assuming that's just for your gimbal. It's got your camera record button. It looks like your photo button is actually now on the front, that little button on the front, and your camera record is on the back. I am not sure if this black shape in the middle is for anything, but I'm guessing that the antenna are actually the top of this little thing that holds your phone. A lot of people were saying it's an internal antenna, and in a sense it is and isn't, because if that's your antenna and then it goes through these little metal poles, then you have a nice flat kind of a different shaped antenna. So it could actually get incredible, depending on how that shape works. It's either going to be worse or better than OcuSync, but it's OcuSync 2.0 still. I don't think it's OcuSync 3.0. We'll probably have to wait for the Mavic 3 for that. But OcuSync 2.0 is great. So if you're using the Mavic Mini currently, if you have a Mavic Mini or you have the Mavic Air Original and you can't get out as far as you need to get the shots you want, and your image is breaking up on your phone, this is a great option for you for the price point. To jump into OcuSync for under $1,000 is killer. And I would think that for those who need that, this would be the way to go. So if you're on the fence and you own one of those two drones and you really need that connection to be stronger, then yeah, I would go ahead and jump in and buy this. If you don't own any drone, would you go with the Mavic Mini or the Mavic Air 2? Those would probably be your two starting drones with DJI. I would not even bother with the Spark. Hell, I don't even think you can get a Spark anymore, unless it's used. But the other day we had a non-drone guy on the show. Yeah, if you guys were here that day, it escalated to him having one too many drinks by the end of the show, and it became sort of a shit show. It was pretty funny. Did you ever see any of that, Steve?
I went back and watched part of it.
Oh,
and,
my God.
I was afraid I was gonna, pee my pants. I thought I better go back to the bathroom first, and I never got back to finish watching it.
Oh man, his question, it was really great at first because having that that narrative, that other outlook of someone who really doesn't know anything about drones in here asking questions live like this was cool because most of us know a pretty decent amount about them, some of them more than others. And so when we talk to people, we assume that they're on the same page, that it makes sense to them. And when I'm talking to him, I realize, okay, the majority of the people out there really don't know anything about them yet, unless they already have one and they've dabbled with it. So in that case, if you are completely new to the hobby and you don't know if you want to spend $800 or more, and you might hate it, I would say get the Mavic Mini. You're not gonna get all the bells and whistles that even the original Mavic Air has, but it's going to be a great way for you to test the water. And if you really want to just see if you like flying something RC at all, dumb down all the way to the Mavic Tello. Oh, it's not the Mavic Tello. What am I saying? Everything's a Mavic now. So, but $99, you can get the DJI Tello, the Rise Tello. It's like they've combined the two companies to make that cheap drone. It's very stable for a little toy drone. The video isn't anything special. It's an inside drone, and you could completely test the water for $99 and see if you even like playing with them. If you buy something like that, you fly it once and you never fly it again, hey, you saved yourself $300 or $700. That's a big deal for a lot of people. That's a lot of money. So that would be a great way for you to put your little toe in the water, test it, see if you like it. If you do, $99, whatever, give the toy to your kids and then buy one for yourself. And at that point, if you liked it that much, then I would jump up and get the $799 Mavic Air 2 and skip the Mavic Mini.
Wow, Echo Hobbies was saying he saw on the refurb Air Fly More on DJI site for $599.
Oh, that's not bad for all the batteries and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't blame them for dropping the price on it right now because everyone's going to want this new one. It looks like it has bigger motors. Another thing that people are going to miss is this. Not only is this, out of all the drones I've owned, the best gimbal guard ever, but when you take it off, your camera's sort of countersunk in there, and that's pretty cool. Not that really would protect it much if you crashed, but it's cool looking, and that's half the battle, right? You want to think your product looks cool.
Well, Bill Thomas was saying in here that he sold his Mavic Air, so he can buy the two.
All right, there you go. He already found a buyer that quick. Ray Bob says Oz won't talk to me, and I'm talking to you, so I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Jake, he's hoping that controller folds super small. I mean, it doesn't look that small to me. Let me pull the front view back up. I don't think you're going to be able to fit that in your pocket. It looks to me like where's the controller go? So if you got your sticks here and you're above it, it's a little smaller above it, but then you got your phone above it like so. Hold on a second. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, it stands taller itself without the phone holder.
Yeah, so I'm dropping my phone a little bit under so it's closer to the sticks like we see in the pictures. So about there. And then under there. So you're looking at probably somewhere here, which means that you're looking at probably that much bigger. So about 1.5 inches, 2 inches tops. I'd say about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 bigger than the current controller. You could maybe fit it in your pocket, but it probably wouldn't be very comfortable. Maybe if you got warm-up pants on, you could do it. All right. Let's see. What else we got here?
Kenny Cardoso is saying it's probably the same size as a smart controller.
It looks pretty similar. I haven't seen a smart controller. I haven't flown with a smart controller, but I have seen them. So I can't say, but it looks pretty similar. I don't think a lot of people are thinking that it's meant to make people want to buy a smart controller. And honestly, I don't think if that's their game plan, I don't think it's a smart game plan because honestly, so many people like the fact that the controller is small and portable, just like the drone. and they're losing that. And there's less people, I think, in the world that want a smart controller because it is bigger and bulkier. There's people that obviously put these. It's weird to me, Steve. There's a lot of people that will buy something like this that's super small and portable, and then buy these giant cases, right? And fill them with batteries and fill them with the drone and fill them with the smart controller. And now you're walking around with this enormous suitcase to go. And if you're not hiking and you're just parking in a garage or a parking lot somewhere, popping open your trunk and flying out of that, I totally get it. It's fine.
I carry my Mavic in my backpack. I've got a Low Pro 250, and it fits in there with the chargers, the 3 batteries, my tablet. My tablet goes in where the computer section of the case would be. I have it in there, and then, of course, the mount for it and everything, and it makes it really easy. Toss it over your shoulder and go.
Yep. I actually used the Flymore bag for the not for the Mavic Air. I hated the bag for the Mavic Air. I think I got it behind me here. I've got it somewhere. I'm not going to look for it now. It's a crappy bag, though. The bag that came with the Mavic Original as well as the Mavic 2 Zoom Pro were actually incredibly helpful. They worked great. They were condensed, and they were easy to carry around when you're hiking and stuff. It's funny because I remember when I got the original Mavic, I was on some drone forum, some guy, and he was like, "You can't fit everything in it." And I was like, "Yeah, you can." I was like, and he was, "No, you can't." I was like, "Dude." So I made a video to show him how to do it. And that thing went crazy, like how to pack a drone in a bag. So I guess a lot of people were having problems fitting the original Mavic in that Flymore combo bag when it first came out with everything in it.
It's crowded.
But it isn't that crowded the way that I've got it. Like, it's all easy access to everything you actually need when you're flying. And then it leaves everything, like your charger and everything else, has a home. So you don't need it in the meantime.
There's a question here. Jordan Hendricks is asking if there's you can zoom in a little bit closer. He's wondering if there's USB-C on the controller.
Well, let's see. I think I can do that. Is that zooming? Yeah, that's as zoomy as I can get. And from what I can see on my screen, it's really hard to tell, but I think it is, because that slot looks like it's curved on both sides the exact same, which would make me think it's USB-C. But it does have the tripod, the sport mode.
That would be a first.
Yeah. I'm wondering what this button on the left by the left joystick is. See it? But yeah, this one on the right. Okay, that switches you between
Video
looks like camera and video, yeah. And let's see, anything else? Let's do the same thing. Let's bring up the back and zoom into the back. All right. Okay, so now I see what that's a black box looks like. It's a mesh screen, probably for venting. There's probably a fan in there.
Because of the OcuSync.
Yep.
The heat build up.
So this is interesting. I wonder if this above the picture button there, which is the video, or now that I see that the other one was a flip-flop, that's going to either start your video or take your picture. This black square above it, or rectangle, if that is just a rubber mount. Oh, look here. Look at this. There's a little ball right there, like a BB, whatever they call that, for when the actual thing slides down. It looks like there's one on both sides. Notice that? See the hole in the top of the antenna or in the mount? That's
down in there from.
Yep, that's going to slide down in there. So when it's put in there, you're gonna feel probably a nice solid seat so it's not wiggling around and stuff. But yeah, it looks pretty much simplified. Definitely a simplified controller, but I still think that the antenna is not built into the actual. I mean, it's built in, but it's not built into the part we hold. I think it comes up through these metal rods, and this entire top is actually a big sort of a receiver or a signal, sends out the signal to the drone. Mm-hmm. So it's a different shape than our paddles that we're used to. So that has my interest peaked. I'm really curious if that's going to give us a better or further away signal than what we can get with even, another OcuSync 2.0 drone.
Yeah. Well, I know you like to use a phone, but myself, and I know other people do, like, because I've got the iPad Mini, and I just like it because of the view space on it. When I'm, traveling around searching, you got a good view of what you've got out there in front of you.
Oh, I agree. So speaking about minis, let's pull up a picture of the current Mavic Mini. So that is the Mavic Mini for those who don't own a drone and you're considering a drone. Although they show you it in the hand like that and how small it actually is, that thing is so small. It is so small, like way smaller than I ever guessed it would be. Whenever I got to see Ed Rickers and play with it, I knew it was small, but when we pulled it out, I was like, whoa, that thing is tiny. Now, if you are considering a drone, this one is $399. This one, I think, is $500 with the Fly More package. And the Fly More package, for those who don't know, means it's going to come with a couple extra batteries. I think it comes with like a dual battery charger or triple battery charger or quadruple battery charger. I can't remember. It's 3. And it probably comes with a couple extra propellers and things like that. This drone doesn't have all the bells and whistles of something like the Mavic Air 2, even the Mavic Air original. Now, if you're looking at the Mavic Mini versus the new Mavic Air 1, and you can get the Fly More package, what did somebody say, $500, $599?
They said they're out.
Oh, never mind. But if you can find one of these for $500 with the whole 2 batteries and everything versus that for $500, get this. Way better, except for that it's Wi-Fi. So, damn it, I wish I could say it was way better, but then again, it's Wi-Fi. So depending on your situation, where you live, what kind of interference you're getting in your city or your grounds, wherever you fly, you might not want the Wi-Fi. OcuSync really is a game changer. Drones back, say 6-7 years ago, all of them were Wi-Fi, all of them. And it sucked because there was always a lag on your screen versus what the drone actually saw. So if you're flying around, say, a tree and you're wanting to pan around it and get a nice, cool shot sort of close to something, it's really hard to do that when you have that kind of lag and breakup on your screen. Now, the Wi-Fi that you'll get on something like that Mavic Mini in the picture or this, well, it's completely different than the old day Wi-Fi. I don't know how they've done it, but they don't get the same kind of lag that they used to. It's micro lag that doesn't actually mess with the way you fly. However, I would definitely still say OcuSync is a game changer even versus this version of Wi-Fi. So if that's something, you live in a major city and you want to fly around places that have a lot of electric wires, cable wires, Wi-Fi signals coming out of everybody's houses, then skip the Wi-Fi drones and just go with an OcuSync drone. And I think now the cheapest OcuSync drone will be the new Mavic Air 2, if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm missing one. Can you think of a cheaper one, or is this going to be the cheapest one, Steve, with OcuSync?
With OcuSync 2, yeah, because it's going to have OcuSync 2 on it.
Now, there are other drones with Lightbridge, totally different connection also. Still better than Wi-Fi. Well, maybe not this Wi-Fi, but the old day Wi-Fi. I was actually amazed the first time I got to play with the Phantom 3 or 2. I think 2 had Lightbridge also.
So did the all the way up to the 4.
The 4 had OcuSync.
The OcuSync didn't come to the version 2, I thought, or the Pro came in.
I thought that the first 4 had OcuSync. I could be remembering wrong, but I'm pretty sure that
that's what Chris Hope has, and he's just got the standard one, and it has Lightbridge only.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember that the Phantom 4 was so solid, and it impressed me, and it looked like someone was hanging it from a string when it would hover. Like I remember going to a big drone meetup when the Phantom 4 first came out, right before the Mavic Pro was originally released. And I almost bought one because of how stable of a platform that thing was flying. It was so incredibly stable. But I waited, and the Mavic Pro was my next thing that I bought. Let's see. Looking for another picture. So this is a good picture of the original Mavic Air. Let me see if I can make it bigger. This is the same one that you just saw me holding. So this is the Mavic Air. Doc, I actually wouldn't be amazed at all the things the average person does not know how to do. I just assume people know how to do it, and I'm trying harder to be more alert and helpful and not assume that people know what I already know, and make videos in a way that might help people that are just learning about something that I've already learned about. Because as we learn about things and we get to know it, we get to this point where we just assume everybody is on the same page as us. And a lot of the times people are on different pages, and that's totally okay. But I am trying to work on this channel to make it so that I can help people that are at different skill levels. That's what I'm hoping to do for the rest of 2020 as well as into 2021. Let me see if I'm missing anything here. All right, let's see what else. I've got some videos here. Well, let's talk a little bit more before I get into these videos, because most of these videos, I'll play this one in the background again. But most of these videos I have are going to talk about like what I'd like to see with upcoming drone technology with the cameras. And I personally would like to see them completely lose the gimbal and we go away with the gimbal. And people are going to be like, what? But then it won't be stable. But I'll tell you why in a little bit. But I do think there's a way to do it that will be more stable than a gimbal. And some of these cameras that are coming out now are proof of that technology getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see here. Oh, Drone Therapy says, did we hear what Coast to Coast Drone said about Sean Oz? No. What did he say? Is this like a punchline to the joke, like why'd the chicken cross the road? Or I saw that Ron called me a girl. That's okay, though. What did Coast to Coast Drone say about Sean Oz? Let's see. Scrolled up. Oh, yeah. I think Bill wants me to buy one really bad. He's been trying to Yoda mind trick me to buy one of these Mavic Air 2s. And like I was saying yesterday, I was speaking with my girl, and she said I should probably buy one too. So I just got the approval that I should buy one, but I can't keep both. If I buy one, she says I can fly both, and I gotta choose. I gotta get rid of one of them. I can't keep them both. So
that's what Kenny Cardoso was saying about his Spark, and he says, well, his wife said, well, you can get one if your Spark doesn't fly anymore. So he was saying he was going to take it out and crash it.
There you go. That'll work.
But then I guess she gave in, and she's going to let him get it. So he's going to keep the Spark intact.
Oh, that's hilarious. I mean, there's part of me like, I'm not into the whole fraud thing, but I've got the original Mavic Pro, and it's insured for its full price. If I crash that original Mavic Pro or it got stolen and I put a claim up, what was it? What did it cost? Like $1,300 or something, $1,200? I can't remember, which would definitely buy the Mavic Air 2, but I would never do that. I'm going to keep my original Mavic for probably a long time. Although, hey, Rick Halber is in the room tonight, guys. He is a longtime subscriber and really nice guy. So he says I should also get the Air 2, and I'm tempted. I'll tell you though, Steve, I was actually looking at these electric skateboards with the snow melting off. Yeah. There's a brand called Evolve, and I reached out to them to hope that they'd see some of these videos in my backgrounds and be like, oh, that would be cool to have, some promotion videos with that kind of stuff around it. And they were like, we'll knock off 15%. So it's a $2,000 skateboard, knock off 15%, and that's not a lot of savings. That's a lot of money for an electric skateboard for me to spend, especially when I've been closed for so long. So,
yeah.
I think saving
free shipping and handling too.
Yeah, there you go, something, because they're at least $100 to ship them.
Oh yeah,
I was debating that over this Air 2, and the reason I was debating that is because I already have so many drones that, well, which one would I get more use out of? Like the weather here is absolutely beautiful right now. It's still snowy, as you can see. I filmed that yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. And
that was yesterday?
It was either yesterday or the day before.
Wow, still a lot of snow. Yep,
it's starting to melt off, but it's in the 60s now, and it's warm. It's t-shirt weather except at night. It's hoodie weather at night, t-shirt weather during the day. I mean, you could probably do shorts now. It's just so warm up here whenever it's actually in the 60s or 50s even. So let's see. Let's talk a little bit more about what we're seeing the Mavic Air 2 should have built in. So let's bring that back up on the screen. It's obviously mimicked, the camera is mimicked to look like the Hasselblad camera, as well as we showed the other day, the Osmo Pocket camera, just at a different angle, like on the stick. If you notice the camera, I will try to get it as close as I can. Hopefully that's not too blurry. It's a similar design to the Osmo Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
My assumption is that it will actually be probably a similar kind of internals too, but I've heard that it has a 1/2-inch sensor and this one does not. So it's probably going to get a lot nicer video than this little guy. So that's another thing.
Scouts Honor is saying you should look into an electric unicycle, and then you and Henricks can go riding together.
Henrik can stick with the unicycle. I'll take the skateboards. I have considered one of those one wheels, but I hear horror stories about the nose digging in and people just flying off of them, and I don't really want to break a collarbone.
There's a kid here. They got one in Dana Point. Mm-hmm. Emergency room.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Henrik at Tech Drone Media, he definitely loves his electric unicycles. I was a little bummed whenever he changed his channel name. Did any of you subscribe to him when he was drones and electric unicycles?
Yeah.
I loved it. It was unique. He was the most unique drone channel, well, maybe besides mine, but out there. You know, it wasn't just drone specific only. It was using drones in his day-to-day life and showing people how he did that.
Yeah. When he lost it, but that one day he went to work and he took it all the way to work and got almost all the way back home and his battery went dead. That was, yeah. I was laughing, but I felt so sorry for him. Going, that's a heck of a lot of weight to have to haul home.
Yeah, I have a cheaper electric skateboard now, which you've probably seen in a couple videos here and there. I'm actually working on doing an edit about that skateboard, hoping that in my new channel that I'm going to work on, that kind of content will be on the new channel. The snowboarding and the electric skateboards are going to be one combined channel. So for those of you who follow me for snowboard only content, I have decided that I will hopefully be splitting all that stuff into a different channel. So those of you who follow me for camera help, drone help, GoPro help, and 360 stuff will still be here, and you'll still see me hiking, and you'll still see me snowboarding, because when I do a video using it to snowboard and it's about the cameras, that'll be on this channel. If it's a video that's about the resort, about snowboarding, getting better at snowboarding, that kind of stuff, that's not actually teaching you how to make a video or how I make the video, that will be on the other channel. And I think that's where I need to separate them and make a distinctive separation between those two types of videos.
Yeah. Break it up for one educational tutorial type.
And one fun.
Yeah.
And you know, because if I do a review of an electric skateboard, now I will put that electric skateboard video on this channel, because there's going to be a lot of drone shots in that, especially now that I have the SkyDL. So there'll be a lot of drone video in that content. And, you know, I want to be able to share it with the people that do follow me for snowboarding on this channel now. And I'll probably make a little mention at the end of it that I'm going to be making a second channel eventually. Just like the videos that I'm posting up from the Osmo Pocket winner is actually at the beginning talking about the new nature channel that I got. And it's just Gina, which for those of you who don't know, Gina is my girlfriend, and we talk about YouTube stuff. I bore her out of her mind constantly. She actually was talking about, because what I've tried to do now is I make a lot of different playlists, and I put my videos categorized in that, sort of like thinking of a different channel or a different show. Each playlist, the show is a show of things that connect to each other. So this playlist is all drones, this playlist is all 360, this playlist is all snowboard. But I don't think it gives it enough separation for the YouTube algorithm to not hinder the growth of the channel.
Right.
And I'm seeing my channel grow so damn slow.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think that it's not my personality and not my editing skills that have made my channel creep along. You know?
David Colgy popped in to say, what's up, all? Just stopping in for a minute before I'm trying to doze off.
No, well, thank you for stopping in, man. We appreciate everybody who's in here tonight. I know everybody's really excited about tomorrow and what's going to be coming out that we haven't heard about yet. Daniel says, any zoom ability. Daniel, I'm going to tell you this from speculation points and just my thoughts on it compared to the Mavic 2 zoom. The rumors are that it's going to do a 48 megapixel picture. And the reason it's going to do that, or not the reason, but how it's going to do that is not actually having a 48 megapixel camera, but it's going to use a similar technology that the Mavic 2 zoom uses, which sort of crops in, takes multiple pictures, stitches them together, and poof, you've got a 48 megapixel picture. Now, I think that's going to be sort of a quick shot type mode kind of thing where you select it, poof, and it does it. Sort of like Droney or one of Asteroid or something like that. I don't think it's going to necessarily be in the same mode. I think it'll be similar to the way that it is now. It's under your pictures, but it's going to be an automated thing. Now, does that mean it's going to let us zoom all the time? I sort of don't think so, because if they did that, they will cannibalize every sale of the Mavic 2 zoom. And the Mavic 2 zoom, I think, is about $1,300. So I don't see any reason DJI would screw themselves out of the difference between $799 to $1,399 or whatever the zoom is currently. That would be such horrible business. I just can't. I
have a question for you, Sean. On that sensor, I heard it explained that sensor, what it does is you take the center pixel and the 4 pixels around it then share the same information into that 1 pixel. And then those next to it do the same thing, and they all share it in order to get that 48. And what it actually is half of it. It's actually a 24 megapixel camera sensor. In reality, there was a camera expert talking about the sensors and how it does is it takes he was saying how the center pixel's here, so it takes the pixel above, the pixel below it, next to it, and then take it together and combines those images.
That's interesting. So it's almost the same exact thing, but now it's completely digitally the entire thing. Instead of having to zoom in and take all the pictures and then digitally stitch them, it's sort of digitally stitching them immediately at the same time. Right. That technology is getting so impressive with every new release, you know?
Because who found that out is Jim Boyd. We were talking about it one time. We went out and had done some searching, and he found this one guy that really explained it well, talking about the Sony sensor. Because Kenny is asking the question in here, or not question, but he's making a statement that it's the same sensor in essence of the Evo 2, but he doubts that the Air will offer 8K.
Yeah, I doubt that either. I would be shocked if they offered that with the Air model. I'm not saying it couldn't, but again, that seems like business suicide for their other models. I think they would hold that off for the next Mavic 3 or something, the higher end, more expensive model. Because what's the point of any of us buying the more expensive model if this does everything that one does? There's not. And if, as a business owner myself, I guarantee you, I would never do that to myself and shoot myself in the foot. Now, if years later, if I did the Air 2 now, and it was 4K, and I didn't make any more Mavic lines like 3s or anything like that, and I wanted to hold off and the Air 3 was the next drone I released, then I could do that, maybe do a 6K on the Mavic Air 2, and then wait even longer, and then come out with the Mavic 3 that was 8K or whatever. I don't even know anybody with an 8K TV yet.
And it all comes down to, what do you want to do? Do you want to step up? Do you want to stay the same? And, as we all know, what's the best drone? The one you have right now, go out and fly it.
Yeah, a lot of people will ask me, hey, which one should I get? Should I wait for this? Should I wait for this? And in this instance, yes, it's one day, 24 hours, wait and see. But normally, when we have speculation and we don't have an official date for them to come out with an event or an announcement like this of the next product with so many confirmed leaks, just buy the damn thing. Buy something, get out, fly. Worst case scenario, you sell it for $100 less than you bought it for, and you put that money towards the one that you sort of were going to wait for. That's what you should do. The only reason I keep all these things is because I do like to make videos comparing the new ones versus the old ones. That's it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, well, and that I'm a bit of a pack rat for electronic equipment. So it sort of goes together.
Well, you know what will be interesting though too is tomorrow is the release of what they're turning out, but who knows when they're going to release it? When are they going to ship?
I'm trying to remember if I think when the Mavic 2 came out, if I'm not mistaken, you could order it the same day as the event. Now, I don't think they've done that for everything. Like when the Mavic original came out, I do not think that's how it was. I think it was announced and then you could order it like a little bit later. I could be remembering completely wrong, but I don't think it was that exact. I do think you could do that with the Air though. I think they did a video. I don't remember if they had an event or just a video for the Air, but I think you could order it the same day that it was finally confirmed like that.
Yeah. You may be able to order it, but the whole thing is when is it going to ship? And one of the things you've got to look at though, they were shipping the Mavic 2s immediately. We didn't. Where the world is not in the situation to where we are now. And look at how long DJI was completely shut down for 2 months.
Yeah. My assumption, though, I mean, for them to be holding that event now, there's got to be at least some that they're going to be shipping.
Yeah.
Because if it was just pre-order now only, they're going to, I mean, if they could actually have some ordered and then it goes into back catalogs or whatever, and you can't get them for a while, at least some people are getting them. So they're like, okay, you can order them. You can get them in your grubby hands. But if it's just a pre-order only, you're not going to get quite as many orders.
Yeah.
Kluge's in the chat. What's up, man? It's good to see you stopping by.
Who's that? I'm sorry.
Kluge has jumped in the chat. He's got a YouTube channel about drones. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had an issue with his Skydio where he ran into a bridge.
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking of
the low light.
Yeah, low light, definitely. I fly mine almost constantly, like around noon, noon to 3. When the sun's really out. Nick says he has an Air and he wants to upgrade. I know my Mavic Air 2 will be much improved with OcuSync 2.0, but I've been keeping an eye out on the Mavic 2 Pro. But then again, Active Track 3.0 is another plus over Mavic 2 Pro. Opinion. I don't know what your budget is. So me personally, if I was looking at I like the Zoom more than I like the Mavic 2 Pro. So I like the Mavic 2 Zoom more than I like the Mavic 2 Pro. Some people don't. I take more video than I take pictures, and the Zoom feature for me in video is incredible. And not to mention, if you're a picture guy, you could actually use the Zoom in 48 megapixel shot that's in the Zoom that the 2 Pro does not have. So again, I lean towards the Zoom over the Pro. Myself, for your situation, if you have an Air and you want to get into something with OcuSync 2.0, for the price point of this one, if it's $799, Active Track 3.0, I did see some footage of that, is impressive. It's still not quite Skydio impressive from what I've seen. However, it's going to do a much better job than this with the APAS on it, because it's not only just Active Track 3.0, it's APAS 2.0. So there's 2 upgrades on the way that this can track and follow you. And for those who don't know, the APAS, I messed with it the other day. It's so-so on this. It's not the greatest when you're flying it manually. It is what helps the drone sort of go around obstacles to some degree. But with APAS 2.0, it should obviously work better than the original Mavic. So if that's what you're debating, I would probably, unless something tomorrow comes out at the thing that you're like, yeah, that's stupid, I would probably go with the Mavic Air 2 over the Mavic 2 Pro, unless you got money burning a hole in your pocket. If you do, then get that, but you're going to lose out on the Active Track 3.0 if you are doing activities that you even need that. Hopefully that answers your question, Nick.
Griffin just popped in and asked a question about that, about the Air and the Mavic Mini for a first-time drone owner.
The Mavic Mini, first time drone. Okay, so earlier we were talking about that. I'll quickly repeat it, but you can always scroll back. I'd say maybe 20 minutes or so ago, and we were talking about the Mavic Mini, the Tello, and the Mavic Air 2. And if you've never owned a drone at all, then we all basically said, hey, go cheap, either go with the Tello or go with the Mavic Mini. If you're really not sure because you've never done RC at all, you haven't done cars, planes, anything at all, then go with something like the Tello, because then you can see if you even like playing with RC stuff. Now it is on your phone, you won't get a controller, so you'll know, hey, if I like this, then I'm going to like it more with a proper controller. I'm going to like it more with a better camera. I'm going to like it more with a better signal. And then you can jump right up to the Mavic Air 2. And this way, you can then take that $99 drone and give it to your kids or to a friend or whatever, where if you buy a $399 drone, which is the Mavic Mini, and you get your feet wet a little bit and you decide you don't like it, now you got to unload that. Or if you decide you like it, and you're like, damn, I really wish I had something with a better signal, though. Now I got to go out and buy that $799. Now you've just spent $399 and $799 instead of $99 and $799. So that's what I would recommend. Taste the waters a little bit, before you jump right in.
Yeah.
Or feel the waters, not taste them. It could be poisoned.
My question to Bill is, why do you keep on talking about the Mavic 3 Pro?
I haven't seen it. Oh, I do see Bill saying, hey, these men are working hard to entertain us. Please hit that thumbs up. Your significant other said you might get lucky if you do. I like that. That's great. Hey, everybody, if you hit thumbs up, you're going to get laid tonight. That's awesome. That's great. Kluge says, fun day tomorrow. Kluge, we actually are going to have a live stream tomorrow too. So those of you who are watching now, we're going to actually start about 30 minutes early. So about 7 o'clock Mountain Time. I think that's 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And I have Ed Ricker and Kelly from Ready, Set, Drone. We're all going to be sitting here with little boxes, sort of like what you're seeing me and Steve. And we're going to have the event in the big box. And we're going to watch the event together after we've chatted a little bit before the event starts. And then we'll talk about if there was anything that pops up that we didn't know about. And it might be silent right after the event for about 5 to 10 minutes as we all sit there typing to order our products. We'll see. All right, so let's see here. I'm skimming through to see who I can put up on there too. Kluge says he's a drone hoarder too. Yeah, it's not just drones. I still have this. This is one of the first cameras I used as a digital camera to do YouTube videos. Do you guys remember these? They were the Flip.
Oh,
See?
You're kidding.
Yeah.
God.
720. And yeah, that's how I started YouTube. That and an old crappy phone, because actually this is back before I think even the Razr phone came out, the original Razr.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really do YouTube off your phones back then. The cameras were not good enough. But this 720 was. The audio wasn't great, but it worked. So yeah, I tend to hoard camera gear. Point and shoot little stuff. I've always been more into this kind of stuff like this than the bigger, crazier stuff like this. I don't buy a bunch of these kind of cameras. I've got one. It does the job. I've considered upgrading this eventually, but not now. Maybe in a couple years.
Yeah.
But these kind, I upgrade almost yearly. Those kind take, a good 4 or 5 years before I bother buying something else. Will it work with a Crystal Sky? That's a great question. No one's talked about that I've talked to yet. Everyone talks about, will it work with a smart controller? And we've heard mixed stories on that. But the Crystal Sky, I would hope so. I would think it could if it would fit in that. Because how big is the Crystal Sky? It's smaller than the the iPad Mini, right? by a
Yeah.
little bit, but it's bigger than a phone.
Yeah.
It's like halfway between them, or is it pretty close? I haven't seen one in a while. My assumption is that if it does not work with it right off the bat, they'll do some kind of firmware update that will make it work with it eventually. So hopefully that answers your question.
Jerry, good evening to you. Jerry Calverley is in the house here saying hello to you.
Hello. Nice to have
From
you.
Spin Up.
Oh, okay. There's so many different names and stuff. I do remember when you say Jerry from Spin Up, that rings a bell. I do remember him from there.
Well, it depends on which screen name he's using too, at what time of the day.
Speaking of Spin Up, I showed this yesterday. Maybe let me do a little preview for guys in the chat who are drone people. Some of you probably have heard of Spin Up. Some of you have not. Let me pull the screen big real quick. Spin Up is an event that's hosted by Ready Set Drone. Kelly Shores is the person that does Ready Set Drone. It's a YouTube channel, and over time, he wanted to get an event together to bring us all together in person. People that had YouTube and drones in common. Those are the two things smushed together that we all had in common, that we all wanted to go to this event for. And he's now had 2 years of it. And one day we'll be speakers talking about the drone hobby, talking about YouTube, talking about things like that. And then the next day is just a hang out, make videos, fly drones, and enjoy yourselves kind of day. And I did put together a Mod Podge of things from last year's event into a 2-minute long video. And if you guys are interested, I'll play that video. I can either cut it in half or we can play the full video. I played a portion of it yesterday. Those interested in drones, we have a much bigger group in here today. I think maybe this would be something you guys could be interested in, and you can see how much fun everyone had by watching this video. And if you're interested, even if you're not, I think I'm going to play it anyways. There we go. I'm going to play this video. You guys watch this. Hopefully the audio is working. 2019. Oh, no, it's not. Let me fix that. Is the audio working on that, Steve? I'll make it bigger. So look for yourself if you were there.
I am done.
This is my favorite part.
Ready Set Drone put together an amazing event, and I just wanted to make a quickie preview of some of the stuff you guys are going to be seeing here on the channel. We got ourselves out there and did some fun FPV flying, got some crazy shots. We did a little exploring here in some private land, and we just all around had a great time. The speech went over pretty well.
What did you get to? Maybe 3 seconds, 5 seconds here? Did anybody actually count?
Now that I've done it, hopefully Kelly asked me back to MC the whole event next year. I think we could have some fun. So stay tuned for a lot more cool, fun footage to come. I've got about 4 or 5 videos from the event coming your way, so make sure you don't miss those. Remember, click that subscribe button.
All right, guys.
Hit that little bell icon and sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing.
Every time.
Hold on a second. Let me kill that. How do I kill it? Shut up. All right. Sorry about that. Still learning the software here, guys.
Every
right.
time I see up that parking structure,
Yeah.
and you can over there.
Oh, Ken. Ken is a riot, man. Between that and the bat, I have the bat clip here. You guys got it. For those who didn't come, after the event, we have one meeting, and then we go to another one, and Ken, myself, and Ed Ricker were walking around, and we did some hiking. And next thing you know, a bat in the middle of the day showed up. Like, you don't see a bat in the middle of the day like this usually, but
Whoa, what's that? Is that
but
a
the reaction to this,
freaking bat? There's a bat.
hold on, the reaction to that video by Ken was brilliant. So I'm just going to share that it's a short video, and then we'll get back on topic here. But just a little entertainment value here. And Ken's going to hate me for sharing this whole video, but I sort of have to. Sorry, Ken.
Whoa, what's that? Is that a freaking bat?
There's a bat.
Holy Jesus,
There's a bat.
Dude, what the freak?
Look at
All
this
right, I'm
guy.
done. I am done. I am done. Oh,
It's coming at you.
Jesus.
That's a bat.
That's a
Why
bat.
is he out at this hour?
Because he's probably sleeping somewhere over there.
Holy crap.
Okay. All right. Let's get us back on the screen here. Yeah. So that was hilarious. I couldn't have asked for a better reaction, and we just happened to be all filming when that happened. So it was so much fun. And realistically, even though Ed and I were being calm, the bat probably had rabies. I mean, it was out in the middle of the day. You don't really see that often. So Ken was probably in the right for freaking out and running away. You know? All right.
Yeah. That was but Ken in the garage, and then when Spike, we all went on Spike's live stream.
Yeah.
Spike started with the girl screaming, "I'm sorry!" Every time I see that, I just bust up laughing.
That was so funny. I wish I had some footage of that with his screams put into it. It was hilarious. That was such a funny night. But that's the kind of stuff you guys are going to see at Spin Up. It's been held in Austin for the last 2 years. This year, we had talked about doing it up here in the mountains, so there would be some crazy cool stuff for everyone to fly and film. But with the whole thing that's going on, you know, with the Rona and everything, we don't know if it's going to happen this year. And if it is, I don't know if it's going to be here or back in Austin again. I would probably be smart for Kelly to actually hold it again in Austin this year. In case it is smaller, he can hopefully find places to that would donate the facility. That way he's not out a lot of money, because it costs a lot of money to set that thing up. It's not cheap. So mad props to Kelly from Ready Set Drone for putting that event together for the last couple of years. Hopefully it's something that will continue. All things Skydio asks, why is the announcement so late for the Mavic Air 2? He lives in Pittsburgh. That should be 9:30 for you in Pittsburgh.
We already corrected that for him.
Oh, okay. But look at me. I'm way behind on everything. And we already answered this question too. Griffin's question about the Mavic Air 2 and the Mini, that we just answered that a minute ago, right?
Right.
Okay. I try to put them up on the screen, because if you're watching this as a replay, and I'm just talking to someone's question without you seeing what the question is, a lot of people don't pop up and look at the live chat to see where we were at in the video. But by popping a question up here on the screen, if someone's watching this now in the replay, they can see what we're talking about. So I try to do that, but it is really hard when everything's going this fast.
Oh, one of the things in here, Mikester put up their dimensions for the crystal sky. It's 6 by 3.3 by 0.7 inches.
Okay, so it's definitely bigger than my phone. All right. Zoom is the ultimate hobby and social media drone. I would agree with that. And professional as well. You could easily use a Zoom for professional shots. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I mean, this is a Zoom picture. Let me show you. That was taken with a Zoom. That is the Mavic Zoom, or Mavic 2 Zoom. However, I don't even know why they put the 2 with it. They should just call it the Mavic Zoom. They really are embracing the Mavic name for everything they do lately, though. All right, let's put up a picture of what we're talking about here. It is the, oops. Come on.
Whoa, what's that? Is that a freaking bat? There's a bat.
Hold on. I'm opening up everything wrong here. I don't know if you guys could hear that. It's the bat video again. Just wants to keep getting played. All right. I'm just skimming through, see if there's anything I missed. I think we've answered most of the questions for the people who don't own a drone and they're considering the Mavic Mini or considering the Mavic Air 2. We've answered that a couple of times now. There are definitely some features we haven't talked about, and that's fine. We're going to see all those tomorrow. I don't want to bore everyone talking about all the features I've heard of tonight. We got to save some fun for tomorrow's broadcast. Oh, let's see. Here's a careful with streaming the event on your stream. In the past, I saw a few people getting shut down for streaming DJI's live event. Huh. Well, we'll do it like this, where it's real small like that, and we'll talk. Well, no, I can't do it like that and then have multiple people. It always goes bigger. Interesting. We'll figure it out. We'll just talk loud over it or something. Then it can't do that. So, but I appreciate the heads up. I'm still not sure if it's an event or just going to be a video. I have an assumption that it might just be a video, because if it's an event with nobody there, just somebody on stage all by themselves talking. And I have a feeling it's just going to be a video. Sort of like if you're into video games, Nintendo does the Nintendo Direct. They used to go to an event called E3 where Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo would go, and everybody would share their new games, new consoles, and it was huge. Tons of people there. Well, Nintendo pulled out of it, and now they just do their own thing called Nintendo Direct, which is pre-made videos showing their products, their new games, and what's to come, third party and first party. And my assumption is that because of the Rona, we're going to see something more like that, where it's probably a pre-made video of some sort that we're just going to watch. That's my assumption, at least. Rick says he hit that like button and now he's waiting, but he still hadn't gotten laid yet. Oh, that's great. Good one, Rick. Yeah, maybe it'd come when you're sleeping. Oh.
I forget somebody else. But you were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you. They were saying, if I buy the drone, I'll never get laid again.
If you buy the drone,
if he buys it, he'll never.
Tell her it was cheap, unless she sees the bank account, I buy things all the time. And when my girl's like, oh, that looks expensive, I was like, nah, it's like $50. It was nothing. I hope she's not on the live chat right now. Oh, that would suck. All right. So we're going to skim these, and I want to show a couple other videos before I get too off of the Mavic Air. I do want to talk about a couple other things that I think we're going to see. Oh, that was nice. How many people in the chat actually saw yourself on the spin up video? I know you were on the video, Steve. I saw you. I saw Chris Hope on the video. I saw Rosie and quite a few other people. So if you're in the chat and you saw yourself on that spin up video, make a comment. Let me know.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw myself in there a couple of times, actually.
Nice. Man, I like that. That little 2-minute clip of the whole event. Where did you go, Steve? We lost Steve. But that little 2-minute clip of the whole event, to me, was more fun watching than the other edits that I made of the longer, drawn-out thing. Here it is. I don't know if you heard me, Steve.
No, what'd you say?
that little 2-minute clip of the event and just it all being smushed together so fast is actually more fun for me to watch than the longer vlog I made of the entire event. It's so much fun with the upbeat music, and it's just a little clip here and there of everyone just having a great time.
It was a fun time. For both of us, it was our second year because we were at the inaugural year. And then last year, it was great because there was obviously the larger turnout.
Yes.
And it was fun, but it'd be nice if we had a bigger place to fly besides the ballpark like we had talked about. Well,
you didn't go to the after event the first year, and that lake was actually perfect. Something like that would have been perfect the second year too. It's just I think it was further away, or even where you guys woke up and went flying in the morning by that bridge. If we had just had the day 2 event there, that would have been great. Addie is taking off for the night. I appreciate you stopping in, man. It's always good to see you. Thank you very much for coming. Griffin asked if I have entered the contest to win the Mavic Air 2. So it turns out, I guess they're having a contest to give a free one away. If you look at, I think it's the Instagram page for DJI Global, there's a picture. And, I could probably pull it up real quick. Let me find it real quick. You want to talk for a second, Steve?
Not a problem. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope we can get spin up together again. They can this year, but obviously with the way conditions are due to the state of the world, shall we say, not just here in the United States, but logistics will be the biggest point. And Bill was bringing that up too. That's going to be the hardest thing for if Kelly puts that together, of getting it logistically set up and finding a place in such a short period of time.
Yeah, and not only that, but I've talked to a lot of people that said because they are older, there are a lot of older people in this community, and that's fine. However, a lot of them are wanting to take this very serious. You know, I mean, like it's killing more people that are older than younger. And, you know, we don't want to have somebody fly and get, you know, we don't know where everything's going to be by then. So it might be smaller crowds just because people are being cautious. So this is, let me make this full screen here. So this is what I've heard is in the contest, and we're supposed to like locate a bunch of stuff in it. I don't know where you go to actually sign up for the contest, but Ed Ricker and I were looking at it the other day. There's on the bottom left, there's a front side of a drone. There's the back side of a drone over here. There's a controller on the right, another controller angle on the right. There's a clock up here that's 4 and 3 or 3 and 4 for 34 minutes. I assume this little satellite has something to do with satellites and the OcuSync. And there's all kinds of little hidden things that are supposed to be clues to satellite mode. Probably is that ring with Saturn, I would guess. There's a rocket in there. Probably rocket mode is in there. There's a battery right there in the middle. I don't know if you can see the battery in the middle left. There, I'm helping you guys win the contest. There's some propellers on the far left, low noise prop propellers on the far left in the middle there. But yeah. So
somebody kept saying like a television screen with a number in it or something.
There was a television screen in it?
Like a little square screen somewhere in there, like for somebody, I can't remember, 4734, something like that. But the clock,
that's right here in the middle. So there's a clock right here in the middle. I don't know if you can see it right there, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Go down at 4 o'clock. Now over to the right. Right there, 48.
Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 48 right there. Okay, I see it. What the hell would 48 stand for?
I don't know.
Huh.
Good question.
That it is.
Do you have any ideas?
Rocket. I wonder what this little gear is for. Anyway, so supposedly the contest is you're supposed to find all this. That's what I've heard. I haven't gone to the page to sign up, so I don't know for sure. Supposedly there's a contest, and you find enough things there, and then you can win a free Mavic Air 2. So go to DJI's website, probably DJI.com, and you can find that and get yourself entered.
Kenny just said it, 48 megapixel. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Duh. We were just talking about that earlier.
Aaron's saying 48 bit, 480 grams, 48 megapixels.
Now I remember Jerry. Now I really remember where I know Jerry because he was at the after event the first year.
Yeah.
And with Mel. Mel was there and Jerry was there and there was a couple other people there. Jenna was there at the after event. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Click. I'm remembering now. That was some of the best video you guys have done together. I'm not sure which video you're talking about. Doc, I assume it's the one I just played, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's a fun edit. I like that fast pace. It sort of keeps you going. Bill's, is it just me or is Sean really starting to enjoy the live stream? I don't have a lot of interaction with many people right now because of the whole ordeal. We are this close to being able to open again. It's going to be on a one-on-one basis. I'm waiting to hear back from the city, the county, that May 4th I'll be able to open on a one-on-one basis and start working again. I'm going to probably continue for the entire month of May as an appointment-only kind of setup. So I won't be sitting here all day twiddling my thumbs if nobody's here and I don't have an appointment. You'll have to call me, email me, set it up, or there'll be my phone number on the door, and I'll forward all phone calls from the studio to my cell phone. And if you're like in town visiting and you want to get a mountain tattoo or whatever kind of tattoo, and something we can do on the spot, you call me, I'll answer, and I'll drive up here and we'll make it happen for you. But that's better than nothing at all, at least.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, skipped ahead way
Yeah,
far.
California is keeping it shut down till May 15th.
14th, 15th. Yeah, I'm my county is on the fence on if I'm going to be able to do the 4th or the 14th. I think it was. This is the second option. So we'll see. I just thought it would be cool to do May the 4th be with you because I'm sort of a Star Wars fan, and the whole play on that day. And I wish we could throw like a big grand opening party, but then we would break the 10 people rule. So
don't do that.
Nope, we're not going to do that. Let's see. Jerry loves his Mavic Mini. That's awesome. It's a really capable drone. That thing for $399 is so much nicer than I thought it was going to be. So if you are on the fence still and you don't want to spend, we've said this a few times in this live chat, but if you are on the fence and you don't want to spend the money, that is a great option to get you started.
Yeah. And this is if you don't know, this is an iPhone 8 Plus. And I can set that on top of the Mavic Mini when it's folded. So if you have an iPhone 8 Plus, that's how big it is when it's folded. It's small.
Do you own the Mavic Mini, Steve?
What's that?
You own the Mavic Mini?
No. A friend of mine bought one. I know Chris Hope has one.
I debated it, but then I got the as you all know, the Skydio 2 instead, which is a great product. And if you missed it, we're not going to get into the Skydio on today's video. But I did a live video with Jake Sloan yesterday, and that's all we talked about was the Skydio 2. That and 360 cameras and GoPros.
Yeah.
But I would suggest going into my click my username down at the bottom if you're watching this in the replay, and then just go to the video before this one. And there is 3 hours of incredible detailed information about the Skydio 2. Doc says he had a great time with me and Ken and Ed Ricker and everybody, hoping we can make it. And if we don't make it this year, Doc, if he doesn't do it this year, I feel like we're going to blow it out like crazy the year after. Fingers crossed that we can do it both years, but we'll see. We'll play everything by ear, see how all this crap pans out, I guess. And I agree. Echo Hobby says the half-inch sensor should really take the Air 2 to another level for small drones. I agree. It's going to be a great camera. I'm sure it'd be crazy for them to put one out that wasn't a better camera. So it will be interesting to see if it stacks up better, the same, or what to the Zoom and the Pro 2. Believe it or not, this little guy here, out of all of them, I own the Zoom and all the others, has the most stable gimbal on it versus all of my other drones I've ever owned. It is the only drone I've ever owned that has no sway at all when moving around. Like, if I can pull that video back up, I will let this play in the back here. And you notice whenever I'm turning and stuff, that horizon stays completely locked. I'll just let it play in the background while we talk, but you guys can enjoy those views. Skipping ahead. Oh, that sucks. Echo Hobby says he had to get a real job because of the Rona. Went from making 150 flying drones to 15. Oh, I feel you. I charge $160 an hour for tattooing, and I can't even imagine dropping down having to work like for regular pay that I haven't in years. You got to do what you got to do. Luckily, I had some money saved to keep the shop afloat because I was saving for a remodel. So we've minimized the remodel at the studio and lived off that money instead.
Did you get the floor finished?
It's almost finished. I ran out of material tonight, and the hardware store was closed before I could go pick up the rest. I'm about 5 pieces shy of finishing.
Oh, man.
It's close. I'm having the worst time with the floor, too, at the studio. I don't know if it's due to cold floors or what, but we tried to extend the old floor to make it match up and go to the lobby. So it was all that nice wood look. And for some reason, the new pieces do not stick the way that the old pieces do. So like I would come in and we actually had to rip it all up and start all over because they were bubbled up and everything. It's just been a pain in my ass. All right. So we are almost caught up here. Rick asked if I do mobile tattoos when you go to the home. No, I do not do mobile tattooing. All my stuff is at the studio. I tattoo just at the studio. This way I'm in a place that I can keep it nice and sterile and clean. I guarantee you my studio is safer and more sterile than going to a trip to the grocery store or Walmart right now. And Michael said he enjoyed my public speaking debut. I appreciate that, man. As everyone who was there at Spin Up knows, there was no secret that I was incredibly nervous about that. So I'm so glad to hear that everyone tended to get something out of it. DJI is made in China. China. Somebody's already answered in the chat, but there you go. And I think I am caught up on the chat or good enough. So what I'm going to do is I want to share a video I did. Let me find it. Hold on, you're going to hear some background noises. I'm looking for the video. Oh, so those who are just newer to tonight, this is who's coming to join us tomorrow. That's Kelly and Ed. And they're going to be live with us. Hey, Rick. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, Rick. That is awesome. You gave me a super chat for finishing the floors. That will actually cover the rest of the tiles. Luckily, you don't have to buy a whole new box, but that's awesome. And thank you so much, Rick, for the super chat. Awesome. Thank you so much. So that was Ed and Kelly from Ready, Set, Drone, who, when they came out and visited, you know what, I'll show you a little bit more, some little clips of them out here visiting. I brought them snowboarding, and that's Ed skipping around. There's Kelly. Turn this volume down a little bit. And that's Ed learning to snowboard. That's called a magic carpet. He had never snowboarded before. And so we didn't just fly drones, but Ed's just falling left and right because he's learning. But he was killer. He learned pretty quick. And I tell you, watching this makes me really bummed that the mountain's closed.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Man, it does. That's Kelly. So Kelly's ripping it. Kelly knows how to snowboard. Look at him go. Yeah, it was so cool to have these guys out here.
I didn't know he boarded a lot.
Yeah. Well, he was ripping it up, man. He hadn't been in a while, but he was tearing it up. And then, of course, we some of you saw this. We actually went and went up to 12,000 feet in really cold temperatures and flew the Mavic Mini to see how it would do. And, well, this is how it did. So if you live at high altitude or really windy areas, get the Mavic Air 2, not the Mini, because you can see the wind just took it away. All right, so one other thing, I wanted to see if this is the right video. Nope, wrong.
I just wanted to see a picture of the screen talking about high wind warnings across that thing.
Oh, I'm sure it gave him tons. We knew that it wasn't going to go very far if he didn't take it up high. We just wanted to see if it would even launch at that height, because their top height is much lower than 12,000 feet. They claim it can't go over, I think, 8,000 or 9,000, something like that. And we proved them wrong. It flew at 9,000 feet without any problem. We even got it up to 11,000 feet where it flew without any real issues. And it was literally just down the road from where we were at there. But the mountain was blocking the wind, so we weren't getting that wind. And then when we drove up to the top at 12,000 feet and he picked it up, it just took it. It just took it. So if you live in a windy area or at high elevation, your Mavic Air 2 is going to be a better option for you than your Mavic Mini. And let's see. I want to show you guys something about stability. I want to talk about where I think cameras are going to go in the future on drones. I mentioned this earlier in the chat. So if you've been hanging out this long, awesome. You're going to know what I'm talking about. If you're in the chat and you hadn't heard me say this already, I honestly think that we're going to see gimbals completely leave drones within the next 5 years. And you might ask, what are we going to see then? What's going to happen? Well, I think it's going to be digital image stabilization, because cameras like the GoPro Max and the Insta360, these are 360 cameras, but they are capable of just using one lens and actually filming with just one side as an MP4 instead of having this 360 file that you have to edit and chop down to decide what you want to look at. And the stability because of that is insane. And now this is a snowboard footage clip, and then I'm going to show you some drone footage clips as well. But take a look at the stability in this thing. Let me turn this audio down a little bit so we can talk over it. And watch how stable, if this is the right clip, this is what's called hero mode. Watch this right here. Watch my knees. See that? How hard I hit and wind it? Boom.
Yeah.
But look at the camera. Look how stable that is.
It was extremely stable.
You see my body. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And the camera barely moves. It doesn't actually move at all. That is where I think technology is going to go with the drones. That is more stable than any gimbal. If I had been holding a gimbal, a handheld gimbal through that, it would have still been shaking all over the place. I mean, that is incredible. Let me play that one more time. I don't know if you understand how incredible this is, but this is mind-blowing that it's able to do that. Because I hit that so hard. Just look at my knees and my body compress.
Yeah, you saw the knees buckle there.
And that pole is all over the place.
Sitting back.
If I had the camera turned around the other way, you wouldn't even know that I hit a bump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that stable. Now, I took a different 360 camera on, and this I'm going to have to.
I've been planning a video.
Sorry, skim through on this. Let me turn this down, and I'm going to skim through and show you. This is on my channel, so if you guys search for like the future of drones or something like that, you'll find it. Now, there's a reason that this drone is on the top instead of on the bottom, and I'll explain that in a minute. But let me rewind it here. Let me actually turn the volume down. There's a shot here. So let's see, I had the camera mounted on the top, and because it's a 360 camera, I can then point it anywhere I want and look at it after the fact. Now, when you fly with the camera on the top on one of these Mavic drones, you're going to lose GPS signal. So you want to really know what you're doing, because if the air takes it or anything like that, you got to be able to fly against that. But there's a couple spots where you'll see, I mean, the stability, the camera's moving because I told it to move. But the stability in this thing, if I can find the right clip for you, is insane. There'll be a spot where the drone just sort of stops. And normally, any of you who already own a drone, you know whenever the drone suddenly stops, your gimbal still gets motion. But I want you to watch it, how drastic when I can find this clip. Sorry, I'm skipping around. It might be skippy too, but it's because I'm manually skipping the video around. Wait, it might have been right there. Nope. There's a spot where the drone stops. Oh, that's great. A little close to some wires here. I didn't notice those telephone wires or electrical wires or whatever they are. Pretty close. Yep.
Whoop.
Yeah, that could have been. Yeah, that was close. Let's see. Where is it? Bear with me, you guys in the chat. So there's a reason that it's above it, and I'm filming the drone. I was testing for another video I made. Okay, this is the 360 is through an editing app. Yes, if you're filming through 360, it's through an editing app. But the one you saw before, what was stable, is not. That is completely just how stable these 360 cameras are if they're in what's called hero mode, which makes it work like a regular camera. So you could actually have two lenses on a drone and have one like on the front and the back or on the top and the bottom, and in theory, choose which lens you want to film from, and have a hero mode where you don't have to do the editing app, or you could do it in 360 mode and then manually choose what you want the drone to see. And yeah, that's a clip from another video. I guess I could show you guys before we leave. That's the video that I was actually practicing for this. Oh, this is the wrong video. Damn it. So you're not going to see the 360 shot that I was trying to find because I actually uploaded the wrong video for you guys to look at. So what I'm trying to show you is like, so when the drone just stopped, right? The shot was perfect. It didn't move at all. Where a regular gimbal on a drone, anything that moves that drastically, you're going to see movement in it. There's just no way a gimbal can keep up and work as well as what digital stabilization is starting to do. It's incredible, and I guarantee you, you're hearing it here right now. Within 5 years, you're going to see the loss of gimbals on our drones. I would not be surprised at all if that happens. Let's see. What else? Oops. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to open these in a test without audio coming through. Hopefully you guys don't get blasted by these audios when I'm testing these out. I think that's pretty much it, man. I think we've covered everything I wanted to say about the Air and the Mini, but I do want to show you guys the video that I made using that 360 footage because and why it was on the top of the drone and not on the bottom, because you could actually mount a 360 camera on the bottom of your drone and get a great shot without seeing your drone in it. But because of this video, this parody video I was working on, I needed to be able to see the drone in the video. And this is exactly why. I'm going to show you guys this right now as soon as I can share this with you.
And I have a couple of questions out in chat there after you show that.
Wait, say again?
You got a couple of questions in chat too.
Let me answer those first. Let's answer those first. What are the questions in chat? What do we got?
I was going to say, they were just talking if DJI is made in China, maybe one day you can buy generic batteries. There are ones out there. That's your choice. I'll let Sean take that.
Man, on a camera that doesn't fly, I'm okay using generic batteries. Like even my GoPros, I've bought generic batteries, and I've stopped buying generic batteries because it will give me issues with the camera. When it's handheld, I can deal with that. If it's flying and I have some kind of issue with the drone itself, that's something that I don't want to do, because then at that point, the drone falls. If it hurts somebody else, that's horrible. If it breaks somebody else's car window or house or something just because I was cheap on a battery, DJI would be more at fault if it was due to their battery having an issue. If it was a generic battery having an issue, DJI would have nothing to do with it. You would have to then go to this Chinese generic company and hope to hell you could get them to step up. And the odds of that are probably pretty small. So I would suggest not using generic batteries in your drones, unless it's like one of the little tiny ones that you would fly in your house or something.
And DJI will be looking at that log.
Yep.
And they'll know it's not one of their batteries.
That they will. I do see Echo Hobbies ask which 360 camera is best. So I've got the 1R. I've got the Insta360 1X, and I've got the GoPro Max. And they all excel at certain things. The 1R is modular. You can take it apart and make it an action camera and then turn it back to 360. The GoPro 360 Max camera is a modular camera without being modular. In other words, it does the action camera side stuff and the 360 camera all contained in one unit. So it does everything that the R does in one unit, but it also has a horizon lock mode, which is what you saw that example of me buckling and hitting. That was in hero mode with horizon lock. And that's how you get that stability. And that's what I see as the future. If GoPro is smart, they will take this technology, and the next GoPro 9 will be this camera and a GoPro 8 smushed together with all the features of this and that, and you will never need another action camera the rest of your life, probably, unless something insane comes out, because those two things together would be just the perfect camera. So for myself, because of what I use it for, I like the GoPro Max a little bit more than the other two. The Insta360 1X is probably my second favorite, with the Insta360 1R being my third favorite. And none are bad cameras, though. So if you lean towards Insta as a company versus GoPro, then I would probably, depending on your use, if you don't need the action camera and you just want the 360 stuff, I just get this because of the form factor and size. Otherwise, again, this is the camera for me. However, it does not do 4K in action mode, and it does not do high frame rates like 120 or 240 like the regular GoPro does. Although in 360 mode and hero mode, GoPro's technology is so spot on, you don't end up really missing any of that stuff. It's just such a beautiful image. For mounting on drones.
And Rick's taken off. Rick Halbert. He's saying,
Rick, I appreciate you coming in, man.
You know, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. I just put you a thing up there. Man, it's been pretty awesome. We've been a solid 40 to 50 something people through the entire chat, and we're going to be wrapping it up shortly. I do want to show you guys that other video and let you see what you can do with drones when you think outside the box, because a lot of us just do nature shots, and that's mostly what I do too. But with a little fun and a little creativity, you can make some pretty interesting other type of videos using drones as well. For mounting on drones, let me answer that real quick, and then we'll show that video. They'd all mount on a drone. So if you're doing like an FPV drone, I would probably just I'd probably go with the GoPro Max just because it's pretty durable. That or the 1R. If you're going to mount it on a drone, I would probably go with one of these two. If it's more of a regular drone, like a picture drone, like the Mavic line, this is a much lighter camera than those two. So I would probably consider this hung underneath the drone. You'd have to hand launch it and hand catch it, but that's what I do. If you're doing FPV, I would go with the other two. If you're not, this is a good way to go. And it's the cheaper of all three options right now. All right, so like I was saying, there's all kinds of ways to use drones. This is a short 2-minute clip. Please make sure you watch to the very end of this 2-minute clip for the punchline, because this whole thing was sort of a spoofy parody video. I know some of you have seen it, some of you haven't, but hopefully it gives you a laugh before you go to bed tonight. You can get a good joke with your wife or whoever you want to show this to. All you have to do to find this video on my channel or anywhere on the internet is just type in, well, I'll tell you what to type in after the video. Summoning tattoo. Hey. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, I just opened. Okay. Yeah, I can do that for you. Yeah. Okay. Okay then. Yep. No problem. I'll get on it. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
the link in the chat.
All right. So if you want to search for it manually too, you can just go to YouTube and type in "drone delivers tampon."
Yeah.
So it's a comedy spoof. Obviously, she didn't really need a tampon. She didn't really need chocolate. It was just made to make some fun with our products, our drones, and just do something a little outside the box. I do see that Cardoso said that
Yeah,
they just leaked the pic of the Fly More combo on Twitter.
I found it.
Did you? I'm looking for it as well. But if you already found it, pop it up.
I'll
Let's
pop
share
it
it.
over to you.
Wait, is this the one here? I think I'm looking at it too. Here we go. So I'm going to actually pop it up, Steve, so I can make it bigger. I just found it too.
Okay.
So let me
I'll
see.
drop sharing it.
I wonder if we could share a screen at the same time too. That'd be interesting. All right, guys. So here we go. Here is the Mavic Air combo. It looks like a decent bag. Looks better than the first Mavic Air bag. Can everybody see it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Comes with, looks like 4 extra props. And that is interesting. DJI is getting into the filter market, it looks like.
Yeah.
That is what is that? Is that a power bank to be able to put? Yep, that's probably what that is. You can hook your battery up to that, and then
USB adapter.
Although I don't see a USB-C coming out of that, so hopefully on the other side, something we can't see is a USB-C out. So if you run like an Android using USB-C or something like that, you can just do USB-C to USB-C, or maybe you're just going to have to regular USB to USB-C. I don't know. I'm personally wanting everything and every cable to just be USB-C to USB-C. I'm so sick of having to have adapters and everything else. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 3 battery. That is so weird. Every time they come up with a new battery charging multi-charger, and this one's weird. It's just so different. Like they had theirs for the longest time where they were, well, let me make it so you can see us. So they were like so, and the Mavic 2 Zoom has something like this. The original Mavic was sort of like this, but it was different. It was a square, and you'd put all 4 on. And then this came out, and that was sort of weird, and it was like different. And then this is similar to how the Mavic 2 Pro and Mavic 2 Zoom does. And now you can see they've just got a flat 3 one. So you can do 4 batteries on this, only 3 on this one. Interesting. Yeah, there you go. The new Air combo leaks. Now, it is amazing how much stuff is leaking before this event.
Well, you know what? I think they're doing it because of a multitude of reasons. My own opinion. One is the health situation of the world, and with Autel releasing the Evo, they need to get something out there, and this is all they have right now.
Yep.
That's just my own opinion.
Sorry, I'm looking at some of these. Let me drag this. God, I got so many pictures I'm dragging over. I'll have all these pictures up tomorrow as well, everyone. If you left and you want to, I cannot seem to get this one to drag over. Anyways, oh, that's why. Just give me a second here. We're looking here for whatever I can find, and I'm not having any luck. Mavic Air. I'll just share my screen, and you guys can see it. Give me a second, and I'll pop up the new screen. And then we're going to call it a night because
there's a couple other posts in here, and that's of the camera specs.
All right.
Looks like. Let me bring this back up.
So we did a Mavic Air 2 search.
Oh, you found it, yeah.
Which one are you talking about? This top one here that I'm looking at, or this little label?
Next one down. Oh, that doesn't give it where the other one here does. They're saying 4K 60 at 120 megabits per second, 1080p at 240 frames a second, hyperlapse confirmed, HDR video, Well, prepare your money. That was
Yeah,
that
right.
is his post from Osita Love.
There's the example of the active track 3, and again, it's behind the guy, not in front of the guy. Personally, I really like being able to have the camera in front of me when I'm doing active track and
Yeah.
mix it all together. That's cool that it's got HDR video. That's something that's getting better. A lot of the early HDR video on these cameras makes everything look like a cartoon. So hopefully, I would imagine DJI won't have that problem. That their technology, usually they pretty knock it out of the park. So we shall see. What is that guy's username? I cannot seem to find him here on the Twitter.
Well, I've got it up if you want to share it. I've got it down there for you. And I've got it zoomed in.
Oh, okay. Well, let me share it again. Oh, sorry, I was on the other screen. There you go.
So what I was saying over here on the right-hand side, you can see the specs, what I was just reading to you. But then in here on the sensor of the camera, you'll see it. It says 1/2 inch CMOS, 2.8, 8K.
It says 8K.
8K right there, second line down. 8K, then 4K at 60, and 1080 at 240. HDR.
Yeah, you'll have to take. Is that on Twitter?
Yeah, go to his page.
What is his username? Spell it for me real quick.
Just click on the link that you were just on.
Oh, was that his?
Osita, Ositalv.
Oh no, I went to a different guy's page. On Twitter.
Yep, Ositalv.
Okay, I see it now. All right.
For some reason, my mouse isn't showing up.
No, that's right. I'm just checking it out. All right,
see.
I'm gonna check this out after we close up some more, but I do think I'm gonna end this with that. That's some pretty cool new knowledge that we just got before wrapping up the night. Rick, I thought you left. Rick's back. He couldn't sleep.
Rick never sleeps.
Oh, that's great. No, Rick, that's actually a good point. More flight time, you don't need 4 batteries. That's actually a pretty good point. 3 batteries at 34 minutes, or let's say real world, maybe 28 to 30 minutes. It's an hour and a half of flying. I don't usually fly in one spot for that long, so yeah, that's a lot of flight time.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna either go with the M2 or go with the P4P V2.
Yeah, I'm tempted at $799. If that's the case, I'm tempted. I just love the build of this one, man. I'm afraid I'm going to get it, and I just won't lie. Worst case scenario, I knock off $50 and sell it to somebody, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I want to. If you're watching this in the replay, thank you for making it this far. I know it's very rare people watch all the way to the end of a live broadcast on a replay. If you have, then you got to see these new specs before everybody else. If you are in the chat now and you've made it through this entire show, thank you so much, because that blows my mind that so many people would just sit there and hang out with me for this long all night as I just spew all this out of my mouth all day, because it's hard to get me to shut up if you haven't noticed.
Well, I thought you were sending us all incentive checks like the government is. That's why we're all hanging in here.
You know, I actually couldn't even apply for the PPP because I bank through Wells Fargo, and they wouldn't let you apply through the PPP loan for small businesses if you didn't have a pre-existing business account. And my dumb ass has been doing business through my personal account. So they just basically said, to me. Amazingly, PayPal is letting you go through them to do a small business loan with the PPP. So we're still trying to get that and get everything situated so we're not completely screwed on this whole 6 weeks of being unemployed. And it's not just that. It's when things open, it's not like it's going to be right back to normal. There's going to be months of slow business. if any business. So, anyways, not to get on a downer, but hopefully everybody else out there is doing well and not having any kind of issues, and everybody's working. And if you're not working, you're okay. You're eating. You're not getting too skinny or too fat from being the stuck at home thing. I know I've been eating a lot of cookies myself, and all the weight I was losing. I was going to CrossFit all the time, and I was losing weight and getting the muscle mass back. And it's much slower and harder to do that when you're fast approaching 50 than it was in my 20s. So it sort of sucks to see all that leaving. But I do appreciate everyone in the chat hanging out and dealing with me, going off on a tangent on things that were a little off subject. Tried my damnedest to keep it Mavic 2 related tonight. Mavic Air 2, Mavic 2 Air, whichever way you want to say it, the new drone that we're going to have tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow night, Ed Ricker, Kelly Shores, and possibly a couple other people. Thank you, Steve, so much for jumping in with me tonight and helping me go through the chat, because
My pleasure.
this many people are in here, it's a much harder thing to keep up with than I ever thought it would be. That goes. I understand why Ken Herron, who has hundreds and hundreds of people watching at once, rarely answers to the chat unless it's a super chat now. I get it. Makes sense. All right. And on that note, we're going to wrap this up, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow around 7:30 p.m. Wait, no, 7 p.m. What time? 7 p.m. tomorrow, Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and that would be 6 p.m. California time. Thanks, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye.
And I'm going to end us on that. Oh, and I forgot to end it.